I can't remember who was. I just love the playing out in real time. I know exactly. My head jumped to this conversation that I'm having with somebody. Well, I don't even know if we can call it a conversation. On Instagram. So I'm gonna share and show you all something. So on my screen over here, I saw this post and I thought, amazing. We were literally just talking about this, the shushumna, the spinal cord, all this stuff. First and foremost, I know this is AI because I use AI and I can tell when someone doesn't even take the time to shift how the format from copy paste from AI into one's Instagram. So um, as soon as I kind of recognized that after I read, I was like, well, damn. Anyways, I really appreciated this because it's like Kundalini is not sleeping at the base of the spine, right? And I was talking about it, but saying this is a place I don't know that much about. It says here the central channel is not the physical spine, and it does not end at the coccyx. Okay. Original Kundalini teachings refer to the central energetic axis of the subtle body, not to the back of the physical body. Why does this matter? And then kind of like goes into it. So I'm looking, I'm like, it turns out like it's distorted around original Kundalini teachings. It became popular. Um, and then going through, like, Kundalini is not a serpent, it's not dormant, and its seat is not at the base of the spine. So I'm just reading this. I'm like, okay, this is someone that clearly knows what they're talking about, right? Like, because they're really bringing this up. They're talking about the fact that while they're talking about Kundalini yoga, there was just a documentary release called Breath of Fire that totally dove into the modern Kundalini yoga system and how fake and totally made up it was. Um, and then what that dude did, of course, within like his cult that he started and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm reading thinking this is amazing. I need to know more. And this person looks like they know what they're talking about. I've been following them for a while. Oh, but also remember to join my certificate online workshops this March. Okay. So I think, well, this is amazing. Like maybe this person can share more information with me. I will tell you, I am getting more and more controversial with my conversations, and that is a practice that I'm purposefully doing, and I find it complicated and hard. Um, So I actually I texted like this is great. I appreciate this. I do try to find a difference between enlightenment and kundalini, and I can't, but I have a question if yoga is science. And when I do the work to explain 10,000-year-old science in modern Western terms, can you explain why or how you don't think Shushumna is the spinal cord? And then for me, blah, 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 blah. Would love to chat. So somebody messages me or comments back and says like 10,000 years old question mark. Shushumna is not the spinal cord. It's not a physical organ. It doesn't need to be legitimate. The spinal cord is at the back of the body. Shushumna is in the center. I get like, who are you? And and why are you like responding? And I look up and that like this person doesn't have very many followers. Not that that means a lot, but it also means that like who are you? You're just making your way onto the scene. And so then it just gets kind of in this conversation of like no facts, just Shushumna isn't the spinal cord and that's it. And this is my problem with yoga. This is one of my problems. I have many problems with many things and lots of judgments. This is my problem though. So I'm just supposed to listen to you tell me that and not back it up in any way. So we do go back and forth. Feel free to go ahead and like read the comments. I actually like get a little like heated in like, who are you? I didn't ask for your personal opinion. Like, and I want to, like an actual answer. And are there like texts that I can read that back you up? And now he's totally disappeared from the conversation, not answering at all. And I said, like, your post falls flat. So you say this. I didn't say, and then you use AI to write your text. Like, you're just, my problem becomes like, this is how cults start. So I say a thing and then I tell you it's true, and then that's it. It's true. And I don't need to back it up in any way with any type of research, with any type of like anything. You're just, it's just Shushumna is not the spinal cord and that's it. And I don't understand how that makes sense. And they keep referring to the spine. So I'm like, are you talking about the spine? Because that's different than the spinal cord. And if I'm talking about like 10,000-year-old science and whatever, 5 to 10,000-year-old science, and there's these people and they start to experience Shishumna. Like I need more. And so I think the easy way to deal with it is like, well, then you're not spiritually enlightened. And I am, and I've experienced Shishumna, and you're just trying to make it because he messages and like says something about there was this medicalization of yoga and it ruined everything. Mm, First of all, I didn't know that, and then second of all, like I don't think it ruined anything. I think it actually made it more legit. And not to deny the experience of subtle body or anything like that, but like it's just fallen flat. And I want to like, as a revolt, as someone who's going to advocate for my granddaughter in the medical system, please don't just believe people because they say things. It was a huge issue in 2020. If I put on a white lab coat and tell you I'm a doctor, that I won't necessarily say bullshit piece of information, but that information is passed around with no credentials, no proof that this person is a medical professional. Not that we need to trust, like, I'm not trying to get into the politics of it all. It's just this misinformation that gets shared on either side and then circulated without any substantial facts. And it happens in the yoga world all the time. And this is how people start cults, feed you a bunch of bullshit, and then end up like, I don't know, as in Kundalini yoga, like raping a bunch of women and impregnating them and abusing children. Like, I know that's a really huge jump. And it's not unheard of. Go on. I mean, I'm on a a true crime documentary whole part of my life. I heard somebody in the house today. I didn't just like jump to I'm gonna die, which I'm really surprised about. But like I ran through all these situations. It was actually my partner, and I just didn't know he wasn't in bed beside me. Um, but like also there are many documentaries throughout all of the platforms that like talk about and target these gurus and cult leaders, and that they're selling misinformation. Like when you go back to it all, like nothing is true. And it's really far out there. And one of the things, remember, we were talking about this yesterday, is like from a nervous system perspective, we don't get to say what people will do in the moment of like complete and utter survival mode. So when we sit here and go, how do you like join Charles Manson's cult? Like, how do you go Wild Wild Country? If you haven't seen it, it's a great one. Watch it. It's it's an Osho documentary. Like, how did that even happen? How did it get so far from like this little thing where we're just yogis, like, fuck the government. And then all of a sudden it's like we're our own militia and we're ready to like take out the US. Like, how does it jump so far? And it starts here. Now, I'm not saying that like this guy is like a yoga cult leader, But I like it really, I'm just fired up right now about gaslight and misinformation. And I'm seeing it so clearly around me because I'm such like a, I don't even know if I could say I'm a truth seeker, but a tangible seeker. I need like tangibility. I need like clinical evidence. And then for me, it's not just like Katie was saying, like, here's the knowledge. Okay, now I have the knowledge. Now I'm going to pass on the knowledge. But there's no like embodiment or actual understanding of the knowledge. So then I'm just like teaching blah, 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 telling you what you need to do to make your life better, even though my life is a complete and utter mess. Like, who am I to tell anybody anything? So the practice is like, I put them into practice. Not that I'm saying I'm amazing and I have everything figured out because I do not. But when I hear information, if I can't like actually have tangible, like not even proof, but the person teaching me actually understands what they're saying, then it's just, to me it's just misinformation. And that's, I was like hopeful that this conversation would go well, and it's just fallen flat to like, no, it's just AI and a bunch of bullshit come by my course. And I think I even think about like Mel Robbins and Let Them. Like, I love the theory. If anybody's read this book or heard about it, I love the theory. And when I started listening to the book, because it was so popular, and I start listening and I'm like, oh my, like, I'm gonna, if this narration doesn't change soon, I'm gonna shut the book off. Because this woman is a control freak and a micromanager. Like, shut up. And I literally in my head was like, just let the kid be. Like, kids are like, well, they don't care. They'll figure it out. They'll sleep on a friggin' dirty floor, you know? Like, and then it shifts, and then it's like, oh, cool. Now you're talking about the teachings of yoga. And what's frustrating is like, I sit there and I think about like all the years and all the posts and all the time I put into like making my Instagram and saying these things and teaching these lessons. And I, have, while I love the people that are involved in my community, I have like small, audiences. And this woman who knows, she's not a therapist. She doesn't really know that much. She's clearly a micromanaging control freak, learns this theory, and then all of a sudden she writes a book and she's like praised and it goes crazy. And now her podcast is like, what? Why? So I like, I'm really social justicey today of like, or just justicey today about like, please, just because somebody says something, ask them why and what's going to happen. You get ghosted, someone gets angry at you, they deflect, blame shift, gaslight. They don't know. They're just saying stuff so that you sign up for their program or buy their book. And that becomes an issue for me. So I'm going to be more controversial. I'm gonna call out more people. We'll see how exhausting that gets. So yeah, I'm feeling really passionate and fired up about that. So just ask why. And I say this literally in every teacher training and training that I teach. Like, don't just take my word for it. Like, that's why 20-hour anatomy is so experiential. Do this. Feel it. Now do this. Feel it. Which one feels right in your body? And that's just like in joint stacking. Like, let's do plank and then let's do starfish push up. Which one is like stable and strong? Okay, great. So there's how joint stacking works. So either keep doing your aesthetic version that's actually damaging your body, and here's the proof, blank, 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 and blank. And then in my own body. And then, oh, and you start making connections to your own body. And honestly, that's, I think, like a kicker of, if you want to, I don't know if stand out is the word, because clearly people that bullshit stand out more and don't have like logical facts. But like, if you really want to support people in transformation, embodiment, experiential practice, like actual safe yoga, then there's this like why and supporting people in actually understanding instead of passing on more information. So that's my rant, and I am not complete, but I'll stop talking about it.